people who work in fast food, what is one item from your menu you would never order? When I worked at 7-11 years ago, one of the things we got was a nachos machine, which had a big glass bin full of chips and 2 heated cookers with spigots on the bottom, one for chili and one for cheese. It was pretty popular. I don't know if there was supposed to be some cleaning schedule, but we never had one. Cleaning it meant emptying the cookers, which wasted food, the boss said. In any case, the cheese one wasn't so bad. When it was low, we just dumped in another tub of cheese. Some oily separation, but it seemed okay. The chili, on the other hand, tended to mold, which crept up the insides of the cooker. When it got low, we'd scoop the mold off the top and wipe the inside a bit, then just dump another batch of new chili in on top of the old. If I weren't young and stupid about things, then I'd probably have said something, but all I did was avoid the stuff myself. The cheese and chili come in bags now and a pinch tube spout. No food actually touches the machine anymore. Probably cause of you cheap boss and cheap bosses everywhere. I didn't work there, but I went to a Subway once and got a fountain drink with my sub. I thought I saw something tiny drop into my cup when I was pouring some Sprite, but didn't pay it much mind and put the lid on. Later on, when I had almost finished drinking it, I remembered the thing I thought I'd seen. Took the lid off, and behold, many tiny ants. I was hanging out with a bunch of people I didn't really know during this. I just put the lid back on and stared at the wall in silence. This reminds me of when I ate an entire bowl of cereal, and a spider crawled out of the milk at the bottom. Not fast food, but I worked in a movie theater and found out only 2 of the inside metal trays of the popcorn machine were cleaned weekly. I took it upon myself to dismantle it and clean the rest of the machine. It was lined in the corners with mold, probably dating back to when the machine was originally purchased. Not every machine out there is fully cleaned, as places just clean the most used pieces. Dang, we had to clean those B out every night. Closing fricking sucked because of those bastards. Burger King made me clean the fryer hoods with a spray bottle and paper towels while the fryers were on and in use. I could hear the degreaser sizzling as it hit the grease. I'm surprised people didn't get sick. Taco Bell was the same way. Someone actually spilled a bottle of that cleaner in our fryer and the manager wouldn't let us change the oil because the cleaner is non-toxic. I work at Taco Bell, and there's not one specific item I wouldn't order. I just would never get anything within an hour before closing because it's not going to be as good at all. I worked in a Taco Bell that was open 24 hours. Any food prepared after 2 AM was made with minimal effort. Worked at Pizza Hut, both delivery and restaurant, and honestly everything is pretty alright. But we are having a North Carolina pizza right now, which is fairly popular, and man, that pulled pork smells like cat food and that drizzle is the most confusing taste ever. Imagine cane sugar, honey, mustard, cayenne pepper, turmeric and else. 30 grams of sugar / 100 g, and barbecue base. I work in full service, but this is a good rule of thumb for any place you go to. Don't order it if an ingredient is only used in 1 or 2 dishes. That ingredient is going to not be as fresh, because it's not used as often. Along the same lines, don't order a dish that fits a restricted diet if that diet isn't popular in your area. The only exception to this rule is a small menu or what the restaurant is known for. Typically these go together and they are either cheap eats or really expensive. Dunkin' Donuts. Never get the culators. The machines at the one I worked were hardly cleaned. Also, if you want fresh donuts, go to one with a bakery and not one that gets them shipped from other locations. They change them out every 12 hours. I've seen too many moldy ice containers for the soda fountain to ever order a soda. I make do with what I have at home. Get a 50cl canned soda from the vending machine at work, or get a bottle of water if I'm eating on the run. I've found it's actually a little cheaper most times. The combos meals are cheaper than say a burger and fries and drink separately, but more than just burger and fries. For all of you saying don't get ice, just soda, I have bad news about the cleanliness of the soda nozzles at most fast food places. Don't get any of the Asiago cheese or cinnamon sugar bagels from the Gun Barrel Road Panera Bread in Chattanooga, TN. They may contain skin flakes from the bakery manager's leg. I personally witnessed her pinching the wet dough without gloves, scratch a rash on her leg, and go right back to pinching the bagels. Those varieties start with holes that are pinched closed and toppings are placed in the resulting divot. Delicious when done to sop. Also standing water, roaches, and ethical dubiousness. Actually, I'd be shocked if she wasn't fired years ago, and it's probably all fine now. But better safe than sorry. This was satisfyingly specific. Subway. Tuna is literal poison in a container. It is always several days older than expiration. I used to walk on shift and throw it out by look alone. Dang, I always thought that was the best. It tastes good and I haven't died from it yet. I never worked in fast food, but I did work in a grocery store that had one of those quick service food bars that they would empty and sanitize every night after closing. I didn't work in the food department, but in the produce section. One night just after closing, before they had emptied them, I was mopping the floor nearby and a mouse unearthed itself from inside the pasta salad tray, hopped down onto the floor and ran off. So, the pasta salad. That mouse had just absolutely indulged itself. I used to work at Subway and I'll never eat a tuna sandwich. This is like 5 comments about Subway tuna now. Take note, folks. I don't want to read anything negative about Taco Bell's shredded chicken burrito. Do we understand each other? Don't take that from me. Please don't take that from me. The only thing I've seen in here about Taco Bell is no black beans as they sit sometimes and develop a film and jalapenos. It seems so long as it's a newer Taco Bell. We're safe. You'll see these comments in BuzzFeed and top 10 YouTube videos soon. Number 14. Burger King foot lettuce. I worked at a Chick-fil-A and everything there is usually great quality, however I would not recommend getting egg on a salad. That is legitimately the grossest egg I've ever eaten. On a more positive note, not a lot of people get strips, which are in my opinion the best tasting chicken. I freaking love Chick-fil-A. Literally everyone I've been to has some of the nicest staff I've ever dealt with at a fast food place. Been at them all over the country. They actually seem like they're happy to be there. Plus the chicken is hands down the best chicken I've had at any fast food place ever. Also, they use the tiny ice cubes that don't melt and instantly water down your drink. Don't get lava cakes for delivery. They are really great, but they are dang near impossible to keep intact in the insulative bags that are used for delivery. They are small and therefore easily crushed by inexperienced drivers, and also the sauce melts through the cake because the main dishes, e.g. pizza, are hotter than it. It's freaking molten. Nice to see Taco Bell going strong after looking at all these comments. Work at a Taco Bell. Plenty I wish you wouldn't order, but quality wise nothing I wouldn't order. Only thing that I've ever seen sit a gross amount is black beans. I worked at a popular Midwestern pizza chain for a while. The pizza was really good and the ingredients were fresh, with the sauce and dough being made fresh every morning and the veggies delivered whole and sliced and diced by hand, along with whole blocks of mozzarella being shredded throughout the day. Good food, felt good about making it and serving it. Literally the only thing we got that was consistently gross was the lettuce we would use for sandwiches and salads. It would come pre-shredded in a plastic bag that was who knows how old and would turn brown and slimy seemingly within the first hour or two. And I think that's par for the course. When our store opened on Chicago's north side, we took the fricking neighborhood by storm. People instantly became downright addicted to the pizza, but at least once a week people would call in or walk in angry about how disgusting the salad was. Also, seafood. My golden rule is never to eat seafood unless the place actually specializes in seafood. I worked at McDonald's. Don't get breakfast after lunch starts up. It sucks for the employees, but also, if we can, we are just gonna microwave your food. Biscuits, griddles, muffins, folded eggs. It's all gonna get nuked, especially if we are real busy. I also don't recommend bacon. We let it sit out for a good while sometimes. If I'm going to McDonald's, I don't really expect anything above microwave level taste anyways. Have worked at Five Guys for 8 years and it's genuinely the cleanest environment you could imagine. Order anything, you're good, including the milkshakes. Machines are cleaned every night and deep cleaned once a week. Same with the freestyles or soda fountains. I also worked at Five Guys and holy crap, it's the cleanest restaurant I've ever been in, worked in. Straight up neat freaks in every aspect and it's awesome. Everything is so fresh and everything is cleaned daily. Sweet tea. I worked at McDonald's for a couple years and once they ran out of clean bags for the sweet tea, so they kept rinsing out the old one, but it had so many creases you couldn't really get it clean. They kept using it and stuff started growing in it. Disgusting. Why the heck did I post this? Ignorance is bliss. I love their sweet tea. I work at Five Guys. Literally everything is stupid fresh and clean, but the grilled onions and mushrooms might sit longer than desired. I work at a slower store, so this might not even be an issue. It is amazing when a place does this, can really taste a difference. I love Five Guys. I worked at Starbucks for 4 years. Your food is safe. We had this company called a kosher, and they went behind the health inspector and did detailed inspections. I couldn't have my nails painted for 4 years. Food was checked a couple of times a day with thermometers, and we would fail if we had a sanitizer rag outside of the bucket, like on a counter. Trust me, that place is safe. Dude, a kosher put the fear of God into my spucks. We never failed, but we were always scared to fail. I agree with your assessment. Everything there was pretty safe. I have a personal vendetta against animal fries from an In-N-Out. Not that they're bad or the ingredients aren't fresh, but they're such a rip-off. You could literally get a cheese fry and ask for a side of spread and grilled onions and put it in yourself for half the price. Animal fries are almost the same price as a double like. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Back when Taco Bell sold limeades, we actually used whole limes and cut them up when we needed them. I kept a case of them in the walk-in cooler. I went to grab some to prep for the day and almost all of them were moldy. I told the manager about it and she told me to cut them anyway. I refused and threw the case out. In other words, any kind of fruit item should be examined thoroughly before consumption. If they ever brought limeades back, I would never drink one. Jimmy John's here. There is a group of sandwiches called Slims that are only meat or meat and cheese that are popular for those with kids, and I've tried them all except the Slim 6. The Slim 6 is just 2 pieces of provolone cheese on bread. It might not be the grossest thing ever, but since JJ's doesn't have a way to toast sandwiches, it doesn't sound good to me since it's just 2 pieces of cold, bland cheese on bread. I pass by a gas station that has a fast food franchise called Crispy Crunchy Chicken. I know the answer is to literally not get anything from there, but what the heck is that place? In my opinion, they have some dang good biscuits. They have some kind of honey butter drizzled over them. Arby's already has a bad rep. I actually like it well enough, but under no circumstances should you get a beef and cheddar. Make them put a cheddar slice on it like civilized people. I'll just say this. Cleaning out the cheese goop pump when closing was enough to prepare me for working with human stool, sputum, and blood lab specimens without blinking years later. I've told this before, but I worked at a Japanese casual fast food restaurant for a while and we had this thing called a volcano roll. It cost $7.25. A California roll there cost $3.75. The volcano roll was a Cali roll cut into the shape of a triangle and topped with spicy mayo that has been heated up with about $10 worth of fish. Literally just a few bits. You are much better off ordering a Cali roll and paying $50 extra for spicy mayo on the side and asking them to heat it up. I had one guy come in with a girl and he ordered a couple of regular rolls like spicy tuna and yellowtail, along with a volcano roll. When served in the restaurant, unless they ask us, we would put the sauce on top so it looked nice, like a volcano. When I brought that roll over, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys put the sauce on. I've only gotten it for pickup and the sauce is always on the side. I don't really like it. Could you bring me one without it?" I tried not to laugh and said sure. I went back and the sushi chef asked what was wrong. I told him that he didn't like the sauce and wanted one without it. He laughed and said alright, so he took a Cali roll, cut it up, and put it on the plate. I brought it back to the guy and he was super pumped. Basically, this guy paid $7.25 for a roll that would have cost him $3.75, and me and the sushi chef got to split a free volcano roll. Normally I would have just told him about it, but the dude was being pretty arrogant the entire time. I'm guessing to act like he was a sushi expert to impress the girl he was with. I actually vaguely remember reading this from before. Been a decade since I worked there, but don't get chicken fries at Burger King. My local BK's chicken fries were rock solid and barely anything inside. It was 80% breading that I actually couldn't bite through. I've had great chicken fries before, just not locally. I did the Control F to see if anyone claimed to work at Starbucks and say don't order the chicken sausage biscuit. I found nothing. Good, because that crap is fire. Nice try, Starbucks marketing team. I work at Culver's. I'd eat and have eaten everything on the menu. Nothing about our food prep cleanliness scares me off of anything. Not all the food is low calorie, mind you. Edit. Wow, never expected all the love for Culver's. Not a super huge brand, but it is 662 restaurants strong, mainly in the heart of the country. One of the best and most difficult things about the brand is that they are all individually owned and operated except a few family store remain. So all Culver's and your experience rely on a present and engaged owner-operator. Without that, the place may be like some have described, while all core values, outgoing hospitality, fresh made-to-order food, are expected at all stores. Sadly, that is not always the case. P.S. No, our burgers are not soaked in butter. I've been to many Culver's, including some in different states. Of all the fast food chains, Culver's consistently has the friendliest staff. I wonder what the secret moral sauce is every time I go in there. Doesn't surprise me they would have top-notch operations in the back of the house. Now I want a butter burger. Well, I would never order anything from Panda Express anymore because I got sick of all the food. But if they still have Mandarin chicken on the menu, it's literally just chicken that comes on a bag and gets microwaved for 5 minutes before getting dumped into the serving dish. So that. Not quite a direct answer, but pretty funny. As a young dude, I was part of a crew doing relief work after Katrina. 14 I think at the time. So many donations. So many companies trying to help. One such company was Chiquita Banana, that donated a shipping container worth of bananas. Now keep in mind, where we were 80% of people still have no power. We have an industrial kitchen thrown together literally from plywood, duct tape, and vinyl screen, all set on a cement slab that survived. Maybe 3 industrial fridges. Day 1 of a 20-ish day shift. Guys, the bananas are rotted. We saved what we can. Plus 100 heat. No rain since the storm. Can you move the rest to the dumpster? I didn't know what banana death smelled like. I didn't know what yellow death tasted like or felt like. Slimy brown juices coiling their way down my clothes, into my soul. Then every day, every meal, a dish with banana. When I came home, I couldn't eat bananas, or even be around the smell without gagging for 2 years. I loved banana pudding, and now can eat it again. It's pretty well known how Wendy's chili is made, and although I know it's healthy and fine and possibly even tasty, after having to prepare the meat hundreds of times, there is no way it's ever going in my mouth. I worked at McDonald's for 5 years. Never order the milkshakes. The machine often breaks, and when it does, the milk base stays inside until it is fixed, usually causing to go bad. The machine is kind of cleaned but never as good as it should be. Every time there is a limited time shake, that is, shamrock, or eggnog, the syrup pipes get all gunked up, and the only way to fix that is to shove something in the pipe like a broken fork or chopstick to dislodge the gunk. I haven't been able to order a milkshake in the last 5 years because the machines are always broken. You have been visited by the safety doggo. Subscribe and you will be safe from all danger for the next 24 hours. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.